Good evening. It's Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022. Welcome back to BoomerRexTonight, your nearly daily source for news and politics. I'm RisenLadyHeathen. Hey, asshole. What's up? It's our show. From other millennial news podcasts.
An absolute lack of any desire to use a wingsuit.
You don't want to use a wingsuit?
No, I'll squish myself and die.
Oh,
Yeah, that's.
I'd go hang gliding,
yeah.
Oh, hang gliding I would do.
but I'm old and lame.
Parachuting's fun.
Yeah,
No,
I can believe
you
that.
guys have fun with that. I'm going to keep my feet mostly on the ground. Parasailing I would do. Okay. We have a boomer, and not just any boomer. We have Mr. BoomerRex himself.
Yeah, and already missing sleep. Damn.
You two eat, sleep, and breathe politics, and I'm still learning that's 3 unique perspectives we share, along with the facts from our literal round table. We are missing Sleet.
Not me, I'm Mrs. VR headset. That's it.
Yeah, the quest.
Yeah, that wasn't really him. That was the quest. Yeah. No, not true.
No, but it was hysterical because we're pulling out of the airport, and I'm like, oh. And then asshole reaches over, pats my knee gently, and says, I miss the quest too. And I just
Thereby
bust
demonstrating
up
once again why he's called asshole.
Right.
but for all the good reasons, because it made me laugh.
know.
So that was wonderful. All right. So aside from missing Sleet, and we had that wonderful show last night. If you haven't listened to it, it is long. Take the time, go back, listen to it. Lots of really good information in there for you. So check it out. But let's dig right into our headlines. 2 good things. What?
Oh, I
two good
love
things?
it. This is fabulous. So the drought in Texas, right, has dried up a river that flows through Dinosaur Valley State Park, exposing the longest dinosaur track we know of.
Oh, cool.
Big old 3-toed dinosaur walking through the mud, leaving great big. He must have been going. As he walked through, he must have hated every second of it.
Or loved it. You don't know.
Yeah, anyway. But it's down the Stride Tree Line riverbed, and it's the longest dinosaur trackway in the world. One of the, I suppose.
God, you can't tell me about one thing that I actually would go to Texas to see. That's fucking not fair.
Well, you
man.
want to know the second good thing?
Oh, no.
The droughts in Texas.
That's true.
Oh, and the 1 in 1,000-year floods. Oh, wait, maybe
Wait, you
Texas
have
will
wait, you
wake
have
up.
droughts and 100-year floods. That
1,000-year flood.
1,000-year. That sounds like some serious irony.
Yeah.
Some real
Little bit of
hardcore
climate
locust
breathing
type
and,
shit going on there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Subcard Central.
All right, Texas, watch out for the frogs. They're coming next. Okay. That's crazy, man. I can't even wrap my brain around how that works.
Oh my God.
All right. So the murder of journalist Daria, I didn't finish writing it down because my mom
Dugina.
started talking at me.
Yeah.
Right. Has been solved.
Ba-ba-bum.
The Russians have figured out who did it. Now remember that she was blown up in a car that belonged to her father and so forth in a suburb of Moscow. Yeah.
No, it's fine though, because Putin really, really likes her dad, because he gives him really, really good advice, like invade Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be easy, he said.
So anyway, TASS reports it has been solved. It was prepared by the Iranian Special Services by a citizen of Ukraine. And yada, yada, yada. For the love of
Why
God.
would Ukraine want to kill her?
This is
That
a
doesn't
straight
make
up
any
FSB
sense.
op.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right? This was Putin punishing Daddy and trying to, they needed a big thing so they can go do something horrible in Ukraine. Be careful, Russia, because NATO still exists. And from what we've seen, NATO can stomp you in about 24 hours and depose you, you apparatchik bastard.
Does Putin honestly believe that the entire world was born yesterday? Like, that is some bullshit. Like, it was definitely the Ukrainians. Even though she was supporting the Ukrainians from inside Russia, they definitely murdered her. That totally makes sense. Totally checks out.
Whoa,
No,
hold
she
up,
wasn't
stop,
supporting
pause.
Ukraine.
She's the son of the devil.
Wasn't
Well,
he the
no.
He's
reporter?
violently anti-Ukraine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is somebody different. I thought this was somebody different. Okay.
Oh, no.
So what
No,
was
this
she
is the
doing?
daughter of Putin's version of Rasputin.
Yep.
Right.
Who said
And
that
that's the
invading
guy
Ukraine
who-
would be dope. She's given several speeches about how they're all Nazis and they deserve it and
Yeah.
we must fight harder.
Oh, okay. Then I can see you blaming it on Ukraine.
Yeah,
but still,
absolutely.
why would Ukraine blow her up and nobody else? That doesn't. I mean, I would have picked a way better target than that.
So the woman rented
Yeah, this is
an
the part.
apartment in Moscow in the same building that Dugina lived in, and the criminals used a Mini Cooper car to monitor the journalist and on and on. Standard
Somebody watched the
FSB
Italian
horseshit,
Job.
right? It takes.
Yeah, but someone was watching the Italian Job while they were filling out their paperwork.
Yeah, no. I just come on, guys. You used to be better than this. And then she escaped to Estonia.
Well, yeah, obviously.
And so they asked Estonia to surrender her. And Estonia says, law, not Russian accusations, will determine if Estonia shares any details about who has crossed our border. And so far, the Estonian police and border guards say that they have no indication that this woman came to Estonia. So, anyway,
Whatever.
we have not received any formal information or request from the Russian authorities on this topic.
Yeah, because Russia apparently knows that they can't do that.
Russia used to scare people. That's less and less true. I love it.
Nobody cares about Russia anymore. Sorry, Russia, you ruined it. Or, excuse me, Putin.
Putin ruined it. Well, Putin and
All of his little minions.
yeah,
His generals and all those fucking idiots. And apparently this girl's father as well.
Dugin. So
Anyway. All right, let's move on. What's going on in Ukraine?
well, actually, it's in that whole conflict. I nearly fell over when I read this. Turkish President Recep Erdogan said on Tuesday that it was Turkey's position that Ukraine's territorial integrity must be respected and that Crimea must be returned to Ukraine. Now, we're talking about a strong man who was a Putin ally
Oh, yeah.
right up until Russia proved they were completely incapable
That maybe
of
Russia
conducting
didn't-
there
maybe-
wasn't any reason to be afraid of them.
That maybe Russia didn't want to solve geopolitical fights by a good old-fashioned game of push-go-shove.
Yeah. And it turned out they weren't very good at that game.
Fucking the tires, man. That's the one that always kills
I
me.
love that. All those trucks with the dead tires and now the Ukrainians have them. All they have to do is put decent tires on them. And they were already a version of the Russian trucks that Ukraine had plenty of. So it isn't going to be any problem finding tires. Oh my God. So did you see Ukraine's big Independence Day parade?
Hmm.
Now they brought out all the dead Russian military equipment and lined it up on the streets so people could look at it. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I tell you what, Pootie boy, when Erdogan isn't on your side anymore, you got a problem.
Why is Russia blaming Iran?
Why is what?
Russia blaming Iran?
For what?
The bomb. Didn't they say the bomb was made in Iran by the Quds forces?
You've seen more than I have.
No, I thought that's what you said.
Oh, no. No. For Dugina?
Yeah.
No, I did not say that. I can go back and read what I did say.
Sure.
I said they rented an apartment.
Yeah,
and they were
yeah, yeah.
monitoring
Before
her with
that.
a Mini Cooper,
And before.
and she had escaped
Yep.
to Estonia.
Yeah, at
That's
the
all it
beginning
is,
of all
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
There's words above that.
The murder of journalist Daria Dugina has been solved, prepared by the Ukrainian Special Services.
Nope, I heard Iranian. Sorry.
Ah, okay.
And then I'm
Cool.
like, why the fuck is Iran? Right.
Involved.
Because that
in
was
this, and
suddenly.
apparently on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, didn't mean to derail us.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Better to check than to later on have to do a correction. There should be consequences. We got a couple things under a continuing headline tonight.
So Trump has sued to have a special master appointed to look at his documents. Yeah.
Apparently, in Trump's tiny confused mind, his document also counts for everything at the National Archives.
So anyway, he's completely confused about what is his and what belongs to the government of the United
And what
States of
belongs
America.
to the American fucking people.
Yep.
The the legal filing was, and people had been saying childish, immature, et cetera, et cetera. So the judge came back today and said the Trump legal team was to provide, quote, the asserted basis for the exercise of this court's jurisdiction, the precise relief sought, including any request for injunctive relief, and the effect, if any, of the proceeding before Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhardt. And all the lawyers are taking a look at it and saying, you just got taken to law school by the judge.
He's
Right.
literally
These are
asking
things-
you to do your fucking job. Like the Alex Jones lawyers. The judge asked them repeatedly to do their fucking jobs, and they couldn't.
Yep.
Which is why he didn't get a chance to fight his case in court in front of a jury, because the judge said, you're not providing the information we asked you for, so I'm going to say you're fucking guilty. Now we're just going to move straight on to the penalty phase. Here's the finger.
No, and this is,
This is right up those say
well, the
say
big
now.
thing now is any lawyer with an actual name outside of, Trump-tard world isn't going to go anywhere near Trump. Because first of all, you have trouble getting paid, and second, that's a brush you will never get the tar off. That chewing gum will stick to your shoe for the rest of your life.
No, it'd be like whatever I put my hand in earlier, even Dawn was having a hard time getting. I'm like scrubbing my hand with Dawn dish soap, which gets everything off. Let's
We
be
need
honest.
to get you, there might be some lava squirt soap under the sink. So. Which
But
will
yeah,
get
it must have been some kind of
You
grease
take
or
the
something.
skin too.
Well,
Yeah.
it eventually rubbed off, but it took a lot. Like I had to use my nails and like scrape at it. Like I eventually got it off, but it was whatever it was not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, and you got to love the fact that old carpetbagger Oz is trying to reinvent himself. He says, former President Trump endorsed me because he knows I'm an American first fighter and will stand up to communist China. Yeah, that's a new take for him because he's been promoting a new healthcare technology subsidiary of the Chinese software company Noisoft. They have a cooperative marketing agreement, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're partnering with the company.
So what you're saying is Oz really loves China, or at least their products.
Oh, yeah, well, when he was in China, he said, I'm very pleased to visit China and join hands with Noisoft.
No, because this idiot, we've known that all Oz has ever pushed, even when he had his fucking TV show and shit, is bullshit cures for things. And none of them worked. All real doctors were like, don't do whatever Oz just told you to do this week because it's all bad.
But hey, having it made in China would have made it cheap. But it turns out he's not just a carpetbagger, he's fucking a Chinese, a Comson carpetbagger.
So stupid. Who cares? Like, nobody wants to fight with China. Back up. Fucking hell. All right. Let's move on to just fuck 'em. We got a bunch going on here. Well, all right, a couple things.
So, former Louisville police detective who helped falsify the warrant that led to the lethal raid on Breonna Taylor's apartment has pleaded guilty to a federal conspiracy charge.
Good. Fuck him.
Kelly Goodlett added a false line to the warrant and later conspired with another detective to create a cover story.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you were
This is-
involved
no,
in the
this
murder
strikes at the-
beforehand.
Yes.
Yeah.
This strikes at the heart of American justice. This should be punished by a 30-year prison term.
Yeah.
No, he did both because he tried to. So
She.
first of all, this was a she.
Yeah.
This detective covered, gave the reason for these cops to go in and murder her, and then tried to cover it up
Cover
after
up
the
the lie,
fact.
yeah.
So he fucked up on both ends of it, or she fucked up on both ends of it. Excuse me.
Yeah.
This is stupid. Breonna Taylor. I mean, we've talked about this many times on this show. This is just horrifying, and every time we see one more of these motherfuckers involved. Every time we see one more of these motherfuckers involved in this, getting the real justice that they should have had, that
Well,
Breonna Taylor's family
We'll
should
see
have
if
had
she
years
gets
ago.
the 30-year sentence she deserves.
Yeah, but my point is that the fact that we are seeing things happen now
At
is
least something.
Yeah,
it's
no.
great, but it's
Anything
also
happens.
infuriating at the same time because it's also late and it's also stupid because this has led to more people having similar things happen and nothing's going on with any of those cases. These people are getting off scot fucking free.
Yeah. Now this is Again, this is cowboy policing,
Yep.
right? Love to do them no-knock warrants. This is
Again, the
stupid.
fact that judges are upscaling them without consulting anyone.
Yeah.
So it's worse than that. A lot of this cowboy is coming from the wrong side of the bench.
Yep. We
No.
might want to do something about that.
Whenever somebody says,
Yes, stop nominating prosecutors.
whenever somebody says tough on crime, and they're gonna explain to you like the worst crime ever that they heard and how that person got away on technicalities or whatever. That's not how the American fucking justice system works 95 fucking % of the time.
If they're tough
People
on
who
crime.
don't do things get thrown behind jail.
Oh, yeah.
And we've talked about this before on
We
this
use
show.
sentencing to send a message all the time. What is one more life shattered on the whatever of the altar of justice or whatever the fuck we think it's pursuing? What I was going to say is if they're tough on crime, then they're fucking certainly weak on justice.
Yeah.
Because
That's what
that
it's
just
come
means they're
to.
promising to punish the shit out of whoever they can catch.
Yep. Or pretend to catch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, whoever they can take into custody.
Again, another one of those broken systems that makes us a failed country.
No, and
We do not have a justice system.
Another one of those things that's going to make it so when TikTok decides to take the youth away from America, that's going to be what happens.
it's kind of sad because so the other night when we did our special, we talked about mass shootings and conspiracy theories and such. So one of the things we discussed was the Buffalo shooter and how his sentence is playing out.
Yeah.
And it's really just a stack of, they just recharging him over and over and over again for the same thing under different names. Which, sure, this guy totally deserves to be fucked for the rest of his fucking life.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
But this is standard operating
But that's
procedure.
the problem,
Yeah.
is that they do this
Yep.
with attempted suicides, with small-time crimes, with, accidents, with random people that they find that they decide that they're going to put them in a room and get them to admit to something that they didn't do.
Oh, yeah.
And they just stack up whatever they can get that person to say into the charges, and then they stack on top of that. And as much as when we see it happen to the truly bad people, it's like, woo, awesome. But when you think about it, it's all excessive. Because if you're getting charged with 10 counts of murder, what is the 10 counts of murdering with a gun? What are the 10 counts of illegally firing a gun? Like, what does that even matter in the grand scheme of things? If you're going to jail for killing 10 people and you're getting charged for each count of murdering somebody, you're going to be in jail forever. You will never get out.
70 years on average.
But my point is that what's the point of tacking on all this other stuff? It's because it's standard police practice. So it's just stupid.
No, it's about securing convictions because DAs run for re-election on their conviction rates.
Yeah.
Right, and the whole concept of the more things you're charged with,
You
the
must
more
be guilty
likely
of something.
something's gonna stick.
So for like 3 or 4 charges, it's a
It's
60%.
the spaghetti theory.
Yeah. It works.
Yeah.
Well, and the American people believe they wouldn't charge you because any American who's never been in the back of a police car
Yeah.
thinks it's
There's a justice
something
system.
between Mayberry and some other fictitious
Yeah.
fucking cop. And no. Sure, good ones exist, no doubt. If they didn't, this problem would have sorted itself out years back.
Yeah. All right, and so we can move on. Instagram and Facebook have suspended Children's Health Defense this week after the anti-vaccine group led by Robert Kennedy Jr. repeatedly violated rules prohibiting misinformation about COVID-19.
I hate the innocuous names these things have.
Yep.
Oh, Children's Health Defense is just a standard.
No, I
tune, right,
agree,
right.
and I understand that. But it always drives me insane to hear how innocuous and how innocent
Yeah.
sounding-
Citizens for Growth.
This is
Yeah.
this is straight out of 1984.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's disgusting.
The
And
problem
that's
is
what it's
since
been for years.
no one like younger than the people sitting at this table have read it, it'll work like a top.
Yeah.
And aren't they yelling about how unfair it is because they're just trying to share
They
them?
compared Facebook's actions to government censorship.
Yep.
Facebook's a private corporation.
Yeah.
Fuck you, asshole.
And again, none of the information they're sharing is actual facts. This is all just bullshit.
Gibberish. Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, vaccines cause autism. No,
Sorry,
no, we've
okay.
proven again and again and again that that is not true. Fuck off.
Don't forget about the alien or the satanic DNA.
They pass on fucking zombie lies.
Yeah, they're crazy. So anyway, fuck them.
Hey, and I'm perfectly down
They
with
can
some
go
of the
stream
arguments
on Truth
that
Social
have
and be heard by
said
4
we should
people.
nationalize Facebook. And since there are some corporations I actually do want to nationalize, I'm perfectly fine having Facebook be the test case. Because they're going to be like, we're going to court. And like, are you though? Or are you arguing with a hyperpower?
Yeah.
And you can embarrass people and talk about who's cheating on people. Have you seen what we can do?
All right, let's move on to BoomerRex's About Damn Time. I need good news, sir.
So, a federal jury on Tuesday found 2 men guilty of conspiring to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
I know. The FBI, look at you. You didn't fuck it up this time.
Right. So they face a maximum sentence of life in prison for the kidnapping conspiracy conviction. They're also convicted of 1 count of conspiracy to use weapons of mass destruction because they were busy making bombs to blow up a bridge. So, anyway. So what the hell? You can't strap on an AR-15 and body armor and go snatch the governor. You can't snatch anybody.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to make bombs that are meant to maim and kill people. So, hi. Excellent. Way to go.
I'm supposed to make bombs for stump removal, not stump creation.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
All right, who is our dumbass of the day?
Well, this was a tough one, but we now have a special section for Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah,
so.
we do. She needs her own section.
While he was babbling about the new climate law, Herschel Walker says, "Don't we have enough trees around here?" GOP nominees for a Senate seat in Georgia made his remark days after Joe Biden signed into law a bill to spend money, finally, on addressing climate change.
Oh, wow, that's fucking brilliant and amazing and wonderful, and thank you, somebody, for fucking doing something.
He says it's going to waste money on trees. They continue to fool you like they're helping you out, but they are not. Walker said Sunday at a Republican Jewish Coalition event in Sandy Springs near Atlanta. It's going to go into trees. We've got enough trees. We don't have enough trees around here already.
And no, you don't.
No,
you one of the places you can actually
really
look at the
don't.
numbers.
So I saw an interesting, you probably saw the same thing. What you want to do, if you're going to use trees to work climate change, is trees absorb carbon while they're growing. Then
First 50
harvest
years.
them,
Yep.
right? But don't burn them.
Yep.
Right. So make things of them, things that will last 1,000 years.
Yep.
So anyway, it will certainly help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so once again, Herschel Walker gets to be the dumb boy of the day.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
Good job, Herschel. Fucking, god damn, shut your stupid mouth.
It's amazing how dumb the Trump-tard candidates actually
Republicans
are.
think their base is. Yeah. No, I'd be embarrassed if, like, someone thought that would attract me politically.
Yeah.
Like, that would make me question fucking everything. That would
we
make
got
me
a whole bunch. We
that
got
would
a
make
bunch
me
here in
painfully
Arizona. We got
unsure
Marjorie
of the
Taylor
things I
Greene. We got
believed in.
Bolbert. We got, I mean, come on. We got some fucking crazies wandering
No, but the
around
strange thing is
who
that
are running, who have become the nominee of the Trump-tard party.
right. But here's the thing. I've listened to and we've discussed in detail the thought processes of these idiots and stuff, and I could totally see him standing in a wooded area, being like, "We have plenty of trees," and the people being like, "Yeah, praise be,
Big
we got
high.
plenty of
Big
trees,"
high.
and
Drill,
Yeah.
baby,
fucking
drill.
No,
stupid, just so dumb.
Yeah.
Just how stupid can you be? This isn't
Yes.
just about the amount of trees, it's about what we do with the trees and how the fucking everything works, and just so stupid.
no.
So
Again,
stupid.
that's the kind of thing that would keep me up at night, make me question everything I had ever learned or thought I understood.
Yeah.
Is the fact that they are running these people and believe that's what you want,
Yeah. Well,
enacting your will on the world.
again, this is one of the reasons that behind locked doors, the movers and shakers of what used to
moderates,
be
yes.
the movers and shakers of what
Yes.
used to be the Republican Party.
Yes.
Trump and his minions laugh at the sheep that follow
And after
them.
the Taliban takes it away from them, they're going to be the moderates.
Oh, true.
All
Just
right.
like they were in Iran, just like they've been everywhere.
Yeah, I noticed that the Koch brothers are sending a little support Liz Cheney's way. They may have seen the handwriting on the wall
I mean,
because they're coming for the rich folks,
yes.
right? They're out of other stuff to steal.
And you're going to need the Democrats. Like, you need the Democrats to start getting yardage on the no gun stuff because they're going to use them.
Yeah.
Right? That's what the
Well,
Republican
and
base is selling.
the
itself.
Democrats will at least offer you the choice between tax the rich and eat the rich.
Yeah.
I don't think this other team is gonna.
Nope.
They're gonna come for your stuff.
Yep. And
So,
then get
hey.
pillaged by the kids that follow on behind them. But, yeah.
All right. So speaking of MTG, MTG smoke screen of the day. Tell me about the stupidity. Ugh.
She's never seen a hate campaign that she didn't love. And so she had to get in on one. So she's introduced a bill that would make providing gender-affirming health care to transgender people under 18 years old a Class C felony punishable by up to 25 years in prison. And there's no point in talking about any of this except it's named the Protect Children's Innocence Act.
No, but
speaking
do
of
you know-
1984.
Do you know how vile and terrifying that sounds? Like, of all the names that we've heard, these innocuous names, this is not innocuous to me. This is the Protect Children's Innocence. Like,
Yes.
whoa, 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 whoa. What the fuck are you talking about? We need to have a discussion.
This is where the Trump tards want to take you.
Yes. No,
Where
I
fascists always go.
yeah, no,
But
I'm
it's
not
not going
disagreeing with that.
anywhere in the next 2
No,
years.
no, no. I'm not arguing that at all. What I'm saying is that even their names are starting to, shift to the insane.
The
You know what I
militant
mean?
ignorance.
crazy.
Right. I'm sure there was good speech used in the passage of Pakistan's blasphemy laws. But I do know that once you start passing blasphemy laws,
You're on the wrong side.
yeah. Well, and we're getting down to the point where that's the kind of God I'd make war on. That God, anyone that follows it.
Yep.
All right. Updates with BoomerRex health threats.
All right.
Going
So,
on.
we've been saying so much about, people diseases and so forth. I saw one's kind of interesting. There's a mysterious illness that is suddenly infecting dogs in Michigan. The cases are very frequently deadly. It presents like parvo, which is a very deadly
Right,
dog disease.
but dogs usually get that as puppies.
Yeah, well, I've had adult dogs get it and die in 3 days.
That's crazy.
Anyway, it's highly contagious and is common in Michigan. A vaccine is available, but that doesn't appear to be what they're dying from. So anyway, just interesting.
Crazy.
So it turns out Gaia doesn't just go after people.
No. Well, I think that, at this point, she's decided that she's going to hurt the thing we love the most, our puppers. No, not the dogs.
So we'll move on to climate weirding, right? This one is actually interesting. The bill that Joe Biden just signed is going to put $369 billion into clean energy
Nice.
and help to build a domestic clean tech manufacturing sector, which is designed to displace China as the key supplier of critical equipment for solar, wind, and batteries here. So we shall see if $369 billion helps that.
Yeah.
It's enough money. If it's well spent, it could.
Yeah, we got to keep this out of the hands of the richy riches and let, let some, millennials and Gen Zers in on this.
Yeah, well, we have to let competent companies go do what they do.
Fair.
So here's oh God. You gotta love them. The climate deniers just can't give up.
Are they still on that?
So everybody knows global temperatures are rising. We've got lots and lots of evidence to support
Climate
that.
weirding abound.
Yeah. So now we have some clown circulating a thing on Facebook that says U.S. agencies use flawed data. 96% of U.S. climate data is corrupted. No.
96.
They looked at 128 volunteer stations that report temperatures to NOAA. Out of the 8,700 such stations, yes, many of those are in suburban or near urban areas where you have a heat island effect, which will raise the temperature that you're reporting. But since what they're looking at is not the temperature, but the change in temperature,
Right.
it's irrelevant.
Agreed.
So, they're running around, pulling their hair out, shrieking, and doing all the stuff that climate deniers have always done.
Yep. Cashing them checks.
Okay, so explain to me, if the climate isn't weirding, how many places? Let's see, who had 2,000-year storms, and now
that's
Texas,
Kentucky.
and now Texas
Now
has a
Texas had
1,000-year
one,
storm, and then wait, several years ago we had that what was it, that hurricane? What was it, Katrina or something, and then several others shortly after. What the
Gulf
fuck?
is much warmer than it's historically been. Incidentally, ECMF says there's a hurricane coming. So we'll see if it gets into the Gulf, it's going to be a big one. So we shall see.
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah. Let's see, what else have we got? Oh, yeah. You got Greg Abbott in Texas, right? So he said one day after a 1,000-year flood, right? And in the midst of a historic drought, he said, what was the state preparing? How was the state preparing to handle this, right? This is climate change, right? He says, no. He says, at what point do you discuss or have a conversation about climate change? And Abbott replied, we're dealing with more extreme weather patterns. Yes, fucktard, that's what climate weirding is all about. It's going to get worse. Hey, wait a minute. Aren't you the shithole state that had 100 and something people freeze to death because you couldn't keep the fucking electricity on?
Yep.
Because, hey, you wanted to make some money and you didn't know if people died. So.
Yeah,
Put
Texas.
them on the fuck 'em list.
You might want
And say
to,
if it's happening in Texas, it's cool.
Texas people, you might want to talk to your governor, Ted Cruz there, about your solo electricity thing, which
Yeah.
hasn't been working out for you, and how
Yeah.
you want to start talking to other states about bringing in electricity so that, you don't have to freeze to death or, die of heat. Extremes, that sort
Well,
of thing.
the thing about
Just a thought.
weather
Just a thought.
is to recognize that typically if you've got some extreme weather right here, 400 miles away is different with a capital D,
Oh, yeah.
right? Which is why the idea of selling power back and forth and so forth makes such good sense. Texas is freezing, and it turns out that Oklahoma isn't, or New Mexico and Arizona aren't, and you can import power from them.
Mm-hmm.
But Texas didn't want to do any of the federal controls that would have made their system resilient. So they set up this whole thing that just allowed them to be a little monopoly there in Texas.
And make more money because that's all they give a
Well, and
shit
contribute
about.
more money to folks like Greg Abbott. Anyway, so more than 100 citizens of Texas paid the price for it last year before, whenever it was. So anyway, we've gotten kind of dark, and I know I've gotten kind of dark.
Those deaths are on the heads of everybody who set up that electrical grid in Texas. So
And then failed to manage
if you
it.
were part of that, I hope that you are hanging your head in shame. I don't know, feel really bad about yourself. If you're depressed, good. You should be. Fuck off.
So it turns out I personally have gotten really dark about this, things like fuck 'em, so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out that insults didn't used to be that simple, right? We used to actually use the English language. So I found some insults. They were on Facebook or somewhere, so I stole them. I didn't write any of these. But here are some of the ones I really, really like. And you can pick people that they apply to. So Walter Kerr says he had delusions of adequacy, which is the best description I have ever heard of Donald Trump, Jared Kushner, and Herschel Walker.
Fair.
Right?
I'm in.
As at Winston Churchill, he has all the virtues I dislike, and none of the vices I admire.
Fair.
I love it. Let's see. Oh, Clarence Darrow said, "I've never killed a man, but I've read many obituaries with great pleasure."
That is true.
Yeah,
Fact.
I'm thinking of one. Yeah. Let's see. What else have we got? Whoa, there's the rain.
Yeah.
He has no enemies, but is immensely disliked by his friends. Yeah, I love that. Some people bring joy wherever they go. Others, whenever they go.
Yes. Wherever, when.
Let's see. What do we got? He uses statistics like a drunken man uses lampposts for support rather than illumination.
I've always liked that one.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
Well, and you can blame both parties for that, right? You were just looking at the statistics from the anti-gun crowd, and one of the things that was dramatically clear was that they had twisted their statistics rather badly.
Yep.
So,
Well, and the numbers are already bad enough,
yeah,
right? The countries that you're going to look at and go, oh shit, America's like those. Those aren't the countries
yep,
you want to be compared to.
yep,
So, no, it's just nonsense.
yeah. Let's see, what else have we got? Why do you sit there looking like an envelope with no address?
I really like that. I don't know why, but I really like that one.
Yep.
That was Mark Twain.
And it's sadly I don't think Gen Zers would get that as much because I don't think they've ever
Mailed
written
mail
a snail mail.
Yeah.
That's what we used to call a snail mail. But I used to write. I had pen pals and stuff who lived out of state or whatever, and sometimes you'd send them.
Amazon packages.
Sometimes you'd send them an email, but to make it more personal, you would handwrite a letter, and then you would put it in an envelope. You would handwrite their address, handwrite your address, and you would mail it to them with a little stamp on it. Huh? Who'd have thunk?
Yep.
But it makes it more personal. It's a lot of fun.
No, I realized the other day filling out a set of paper medical forms. Filling out a set of paper medical forms. That the only thing I had handwritten in the last couple of years were checks. And they always make me nervous because I know I'm going to screw them up. And
You're writing checks.
it turns out that Trinidad only gives me one. In fact, I don't have one right now. She only gives me one check at a time. I get to carry it around in my wallet till I use it. And if I can't tell her what I used it for, I don't get another one.
Oh no!
So anyway,
That's well played.
that
Trinidad.
has worked. That has worked. That
Fair.
has saved us some money.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Oh, Mae West says, his mother should have thrown him away and kept the stork.
Fair.
So I love some of these. Winston Churchill and Lady Astor. If you were my husband, I'd give you poison. Churchill's response was, if you were my wife, I'd drink it. And of course, there's the very famous one. George Bernard Shaw sent 2 tickets to Churchill. It says, I'm enclosing 2 tickets to the first night of my new play. Bring a friend if you have one. And Winston Churchill responded, cannot attend first night, will attend second if you have one.
That is brilliant. I like that.
Yeah.
You gotta have a sense of humor, folks. That's what this is about. And people don't have a sense of humor anymore nowadays, and that is sad.
Oh, here's there are a lot of Republican candidates that strike me just like this. Is it just a shiver looking for a spine to run up?
Another good one.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God,
these
that's
are great.
brilliant.
I'm gonna use these. But that uses statistics like a drunk uses lampposts. That is fabulous. We're gonna use that one. Oh. They never open their mouths without subtracting from the sum of human knowledge. Oh, yeah. Let's see, Robert F. Kennedy. He inherited some good instincts from his Quaker forebears, but by diligent hard work, he has overcome them.
Oh, that's
Yes.
good.
Yeah, I know.
That's good.
Anyway, I just thought we'd gotten pretty dark, and we would bring some levity into this.
No, I think it's important to laugh sometimes. I'm a big fan of laughter. Laughter is healing.
Yep.
And sometimes you need to. And after everything we talked about yesterday, I think we all need a little healing. So I love that.
Yep.
All right. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, heartfelt review, smash that like button on YouTube. Go to BoomerRexTonight, no space on Facebook for fun memes, and a link to our Patreon. Give us $1. You can find us on YouTube as BoomerX, or check your favorite podcasting service for BoomerRexTonight. We can be found on over a dozen different platforms, including Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Samsung Podcasts. Hit us up on Twitter at BoomerXTonight, and if you Google BoomerXTonight, no spaces, all links will lead you to us. We love you all, and we will see you all back here tomorrow night for more BoomerRexTonight.